This, guys, is how you build a snow cover for either a barbecue, AC unit, anything you might have in the backyard where the roof won't cover it. I tried to use all the supplies from Home Depot, and I started by getting about 12 pieces of 10-foot, half-inch thick rebar. I got a standard size of plywood that was about 3/16 thick, and I ripped about 6 inches off of one long side so that it would fit one panel of corrugated steel top that happened to be painted brown, which matched my roof. We began by cutting all the rebar pieces into fit the box length of the plywood, as well as fitting an 8-foot corner for both rear sides closest to the house and a 7-foot front side farthest away from the house, so that there would be a 1 foot of drop and a 3-foot space from the side of the building down to the front where the barbecue would be at. Figured 7 feet would cover a standard human being and the ability for him to walk in and open up a barbecue. So we welded up the frame. We put 3 supporting bars underneath it, and then we began to set up basically welded washers where we could screw into the plywood. Once we set the frame that was attached to the plywood onto the bottom, we moved it over and began screwing washers and screws from the top of the corrugated steel on top of the plywood. After we finish up with this task, then we had to try and figure out how we were going to get the welded frame of each corner post to go in. So I decided maybe we would use something that was about the width of each side panel, 3 feet, which happened to be my forge stand, and we began to level out where the 8-foot and 7-foot piece is going to fit onto the foot pegs. So we had to level it and get it all set up, and then we realized we were too far away for the cords of the welder to reach, which, you got to re-level and figure it out, but it's all okay. You can see us here getting things welded in as sturdy as you can possibly make it, but still functional without adding so much weight that this is immovable. Once we got it welded, we decided that we would hang it from my pull-up bar in the garage and then use some different pieces of boxes or tool holders and things to hold it into place so we could weld all the supports at the right angle and get the foot pegs to be level with the ground. Now that we had it all welded up, we decided to put in some of the support crossbars, one on the back side towards the top, about 2 feet down, and then one near the bottom, 2 feet up from the ground. So you can see us putting in the final support bars. We almost ran out of rebar, so we took some of the 1.5-foot cuts and overlapped them and welded them together so that we could have the 3-foot segment spans that we would need to do the bottom segments of the support bars. Once this was finished, we actually got to take a final look at the work, and this is what it looks like before we flip it over.